what the budget could do for the stock market and the bond market and indeed the economy. I have with me today Neelkanth Mishra of Credit Suisse. Neelkanth, thanks very much for joining in. We've spoke around the budget and you stressed repeatedly the importance of execution with this Capex heavy growth plan that the government has unleashed. Does it still remain an area of concern for you? The fact that while outlay has been made for Capex, the centre and particularly the states may not be able to execute it to get the multiplier effect which the finance minister is talking about.
Absolutely. In fact, my fear is that so not only the Capex outlays, which are about 2 trillion rupees extra, of which about 1 trillion or half of it, of the additional amount, is to be spent by the states. In addition to that, I think there is gross underestimation of revenues for both the fourth quarter of this financial year, as well as the estimates for the next financial year. And on the expenditure side, the targets for the fourth quarter are excessively high. So for example, government Capex in the first 9 months is up 30%. In the final quarter is expected to be up 80% year on year. And for the next year as well, about half of the additional Capex is to be spent by the states, on which we are relying on their ability to execute. The government cash balance, in my view, which was already 5.5 trillion when we last spoke, that was after the economic survey, I think the number could be closer to 7 trillion by the end of this financial year.
Now, this is disturbing, Neelkanth, and in your experience and analysis, what is the problem? I mean, are states able to do some kind of Capex better than others? And the kind of Capex which the finance minister is talking about, which is primarily infrastructure, which actually has a very good multiplier effect, is that the specific kind of Capex which the states often are not able to deliver on?
No, I think states can do Capex. It's just that it takes time to scale up. And a lot of that scale up is actually dependent on physical files moving, people coming to office, everyone being in office, everyone being motivated. And I think all of those challenges have plagued the response of the state governments in the last 2 years, that their processes are very physical file dependent, and unless everyone is in office, that can't work. It's illegal to take some files out of office. There are no tools to work from home. The automation of process flows, of documentation has actually not been done. Some of it deliberately. Some officials do not want the transparency, but some of it just because of the slow process of automation and adoption of computers. So work from home, which for you and me has worked more or less seamlessly, is not something that has been an option for state governments. But I think more importantly, the type of Capex that the central government would like the states to work on is the more distributed kind. Right? So I think in principle, the decision to let states spend more is the right one, right? Because we need more Capex on health, we need more Capex on education, we need more Capex on urban infrastructure, we need more primary healthcare centers, we need more rural roads, we need last mile power distribution. A lot of this is actually needs to be done by the state governments. The central government occasionally intervenes, like the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Rural housing is a state subject. Rural electrification is a state subject. Rural roads are state subjects. But the center runs schemes. But there has been a lot of criticism that the CSS, the centrally sponsored schemes, are taking away a lot of the fiscal space of the states, because the center, allocates 50, 60, 70%, and the rest has to come from the states, and that they lose the discretion. So this making available of funds for the states to execute on is something which I think is a welcome move. But the concern that you raised, and I totally share, and I think it is actually a very serious one, is that they may not be able to scale up fast enough to drive the stimulus that the economy needs at this stage.